Hi boys and girls, my name is Mrs. Mack, and today this video is going to show you how to use your Lego Essentials kit to build this pollination model of a bee flying from flower to flower. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing that you will need is the white plate. It's the larger of the plates. And then you will need the hub or the brain. This is actually the computer part that you will code in the next video to make the bee fly around. And then you need 4 of these little green pins. They look like little legs. Okay, so step number 1 is to take the brain, and on the bottom of it, it's actually on the top as well too, but on the bottom, add the 4 pins like so. Whoop. Notice I'm skipping that center one. There we go. And then I'm going to flip this over, and I'm going to put this right here in the middle of the white plate. Okay. Now my next step is to take my motor. Okay, it's a small little motor that looks like this, and add 2 pins. These are the 2 black pins. Okay, they look a little different than the green ones you just used. And we are going to add those not to this part. This is the part that actually spins, but flip it over. We're going to add those to the back here. One's going to go right there, and the other is going to go right there. Okay, just like that. And then we are going to put our motor right on top of the hub or the brain. Now this cord, we're going to want to wrap around like so. Kind of get it out of the way. And then if you notice here on the side, you have these different ports, okay, these gray areas. They're also labeled. This one is port A. There you go. Now you can see it, port A. And then you have port B. You want to go ahead and make sure that this is attached into port A. All right, so you're just going to slide it in. If it doesn't slide in easily, then it is the wrong way. And all you need to do is flip it around. Okay. Oh, and I actually hit the power button. As you can see, it's blinking. So in order to turn that off, I press and hold. And then the light goes, whoop, press and hold until the light goes off. This does take a little while. There we go. Now it's off. Okay. Hopefully we won't turn that on again. We don't want to waste the battery. All right. So let's go ahead and get started with setting up the pollinator, or in this situation, the bee. You will need the green plate. You will need the blue plate, which is a little bit smaller than the green one. You will need 2 of the hexagon plates. Okay, those are the yellow ones. And then you will need the 2 little eyeballs. There's one, there's the second one. And you will need a blue brick. Okay, notice that these are different because this is flat and this one is much thicker. So this is considered a brick, this is considered a plate. All right, so in order to build your bee, you have the green is the middle, the green plate, and you're going to put the eyeballs on the end like that. There we go. And then these yellow hexagon plates are actually the wings. So I'm going to center those right there in the middle. Notice I have 4 of the Lego bumps down here, and then 4 of the Lego bumps down here. 2 of them are covered by the eyes. But that's how I know that they're centered, because 4 on this side and 4 on this side, and they're outside of those yellow hexagons. And then I'm going to take my blue plate, the flat one, and I'm going to connect these 3 pieces together by laying it right there. Now, you should have a hole that you're seeing going through the center, okay, right there. There should still be a hole. If you've got that, you're doing great. Now I'm going to take this brick, and that's actually going to be placed down here on the bottom. And again, I want to line it up so that there's that hole going through the center. Okay, so we've got that center hole. All right, so here's my little bee. Looking cute so far, huh? All right, the next step that I need is this yellow axle. I'm sorry, this is a black axle. There's a yellow one that we're going to be using here in just a second. Notice it looks like a little plus sign. If you turn it to the side, you can see plus sign there. Okay, but this is called an axle, and this is how things spin using Lego bricks. That is going to go right through the center of our bee, and it should come all the way through. I'm going to push just a little bit further down. There we go, so that it's sticking out pretty far on the back end. All right, now grab a smaller yellow axle. This time is the yellow one. And again, it looks like a plus sign, okay, but it's much smaller than the black one. And then you are going to take what's called an L beam. See how it kind of looks like the letter L? Almost like an elbow as well too. Okay. Now this is going to go right here in the center of our motor. Notice the plus sign fits right in there. Okay. And you are going to use the smaller end. See how there's only 2 holes here? Okay. You're going to use that smaller end, and that's going to connect to the yellow axle right there with that plus sign on the end, and push all the way down. Okay. Now, if you notice on the other end of the L beam, you have another plus sign. Well, if you were thinking that's where the bee is going to go, you're right. So you're going to use this part, and we're going to put the bee, let's turn him a little sideways there. Oh, sometimes I struggle with getting this one on, so if you do too, it's okay. There we go. And so we want our bee to be facing forward. All right, doing good so far? So this right now is the base of our build. All right, I'm going to put him off to the side. Now I'm going to start building the flowers, right? Every bee needs a flower to pollinate, and we're actually going to make 2 of them. So you are going to use these 2 magenta circle plates, 2 of these orange tiles. They're flat as well. And then 2 green circle bricks. These ones are thick. Okay. Those are the bricks. And then 2 green pins again. And this really weird piece. It doesn't look like it would be a Lego piece. These blue and clear tubes that kind of look like straws. Those are going to work as our stem of our flower. All right, so this is the base. I guess we could say that this is where the flower is on the ground, or these are the leaves. And I'm going to stick the stem of the flower right there in the center. Okay, looks like that. Next, I'm going to take the petals of the flower, and then here would be the actual pollen of the flower, and that's going to go right there in the center. And then to connect everything together, I'm going to take the pin and put those right there in the hole. Okay, I want the bigger piece facing out, or the bigger part, I should say, of the pin. There we go. And then now I'm going to take the flower and attach it to the stem, like so. All right, fantastic. So now I'm going to bring back the base, and I'm going to add my flowers to each corner. Well, I should say, I'm sorry, to only 2 corners. One there, and one right there. Now to make this more look like nature, I'm going to take 2 of the bushes and put those in the opposite corners. So 1 right there, and then 1 right there. All right, so now at this point you can use your hand and actually move the bee, and you can see how he's going to fly from one flower over the bush into the next flower. Okay, but instead of us using our hand, we are now going to use the Lego education program, and we are going to code the brain or the hub to make it do this on its own. Stay tuned for the next video. Thanks.